Spamton is quite the hot ticket character these days, huh? I haven't seen anyone so worked up about a little dude in quite some time. And with the despairing views of my last video compared to my original Brawlsy theory, what better salesman to tear me out of the gutter? I've unearthed something I don't believe anyone else has discovered or paid attention to, and while it may not be as dense as my first two endeavors, it should be just as entertaining and informative. Let's dive in. As you all should know, as we go through the process of helping Spamton reach his goal of being a big shot, we eventually grant him access to his new form, Spamton Neo. 3 times the firepower, 2 times the water power, the perfect vessel. But why is it here? We see it as the broken down machine before loading Spamton into it, and we can learn more about it from Swatch in Queen's Mansion. He tells us that this discarded vessel was made by a Lightner in order to realize some dream of theirs. That robot was the embodiment of a Lightner's dream. A dream I helped create, once. Splashing color from motion of their hand, the Lightner filled it with their own hope, giving it an incredible power. But in the end, nothing ever came of it. He goes on to say how this dream he helped create now lies discarded in the mansion basement. Here's where it gets interesting. Swatch's name and design is based off of a tool common in drawing and editing software like MS Paint. This would indicate that someone in the light world had used such a software to design what became Spamton's new body in order to satisfy some desire or realize an idea. Of course, this never ended up happening. Many have sought to stitch these strings and details up to find whoever in the light world would have created such an artwork. I've seen several amazing videos addressing this topic that I will leave in the description. Some believe that this Lightner would have been Mettaton, as we don't know if he has secured a body yet in this universe. We know that in Undertale, Mettaton used to be a ghost like Mad Dummy, but gained the body provided by Alphys. As Alphys is not a scientist in Deltarune universe, we can assume such things could not have happened. The theory goes that Mettaton took the time to draft out this dream vessel of his for fun or just to realize the idea. This also points to why the Spamton Neo motif can be heard through Spamton Neo's theme. Another similar idea revolves around the same points, but concerning whatever ghost inhabited Mad Mew Mew in Undertale. The wand-like appendage Spamton uses in his Neo form is seen to signify this. While both of those previous ideas are fine in and of themselves, I believe that I have found an even better candidate. My mind rests with the idea that Asriel was the creator of this draft. The main instance that set me off was this interaction you can have with the computer in your room at the start of Chapter 2. If you interact with it, the game describes a poorly drawn draft for a video game depicting the final boss being giant and having rainbow wings. On the computer's desktop is a folder called Epic Game Stuff. It's poorly drawn designs for a game. Seems the last boss is a creature with giant rainbow wings. Doesn't seem like this game ever saw the light of day. The immediate connection to make is concerning the true final boss of Undertale, Asriel Dreamer, fitting just this description. But I'd like to think the point of this interaction runs deeper. I think this exact drawing is what Swatch referred to in helping spawn the eventual body of Spamton. Looking at the body itself, we can already see some similarities. Spamton Neo has rainbow wings just as described in the drawing. They aren't quite rainbow, but to imagine a poorly drawn imitation of rainbow in MS Paint might translate into something like this. The wings also protrude at uneven angles, showing a lack of precision that might be present in an excited child, but absent in a perfectionist, self-absorbed ghost. We can stop inferring as we look at the direct similarities between Spamton Neo and Asriel Dreamer in Undertale. They both share the same sort of finger/thorn-like appendage on the interior corners of each wing, as well as a distinct core at the center of both characters. The wand used by Spamton Neo in order to shoot Pippis could be a sort of crude utilization of the lasers shot from Asriel's hands, or similarly found in the Rainbow Cannon. Another thing to note are the several unused attacks that would have been used during Spamton Neo's fight, in which he uses lasers even more similar to Asriel Dreamer's equivalent. Beyond physical details, we can see reasons to believe Asriel made this in Swatch's dialogue. I'd like to note 2 very particular phrases used. That robot was the embodiment of a Lightner's dream. A dream I helped create. The Lightner filled it with their own hope. But that crooked salesman, somehow he learned about the robot, and thought he could use its power to fulfill his own twisted dreams. I can't believe that the use of the words hope and dream was thoughtless. I must see the connection between those words and hopes and dreams, the boss theme for Asriel Dreamer. Along with this, the fact that Swatch explains how this dream never came to fruition would refer to the fact that the game Asriel was making never became anything more than that picture. While this theory doesn't have any proper connections within the leitmotifs in the actual fight, I don't think it has to. The theming around Mettaton, Neo, and Dummy's motif could not be directly stating that it was one of their creations, but highlighting the connections between either character. Spamton is himself a lesser character before being able to enter the discarded vessel, just as Mettaton was nobody before he found his. We also know that Neos in this universe work differently than they do in Undertale, with it even being poked fun at in Spamton's Snowgrave battle, where he bolsters his defense immensely. While in Undertale, Neos have very, very low defense. So we know these stories are not directly connected, but rather share similar themes. Almost like a leitmotif is in a song. In the end, we can assume a lot about what other characters might have done to spawn this creation, but we do know directly that Asriel has such a drawing, and to connect that holds a certain validity. This one was a tad short, but it didn't need to be very much longer. It was a simpler topic compared to my previous affairs. As it stands, I really only have one Deltarune theory left in me that I might end up making. I hope all of you can look forward to content more similar to my Curse of the Moon video in the coming weeks, as well as more experimental concept I haven't touched yet. Hopefully you all keep coming back for more, and I can keep my status for a little while longer. So remember, stay hydrated, stay happy, and never